Hello, in this video we'll see how to interface a fire sensor with the Raspberry Pi board and send notifications onto your mobile using the push bullet service. So a fire sensor or a flame detector is a sensor designed to detect and respond to the presence of flame or fire. So it is quite essential to use a fire sensor when you want to be notified about any fire accident happening at your home when you're away. To make a fire system of our own, we would need only these two parts along with a few connections to make, and then we are ready to set a fire system in a house. So let's get started now. So coming to the connections, the fire sensor has got 4 pins here, the A0, G, that is a ground pin, plus that is a VCC. So the VCC could be 3.3 volts or 5 volt depending on the module, and a D0 pin, that is a digital output pin. In addition to the pins, the module has got LEDs for the power and the D0 output. So the power LED glows whenever the board is powered properly, and the D0 LED glows whenever the sensor detects fire. The potentiometer box in here would allow us to increase or decrease the range at which we could detect fire at our place. And this is the sensing unit with the structure of an LED here. This detects the fire and communicates through the pins to the Raspberry Pi. So the connections we need to make would be connecting the D0 pin of the fire sensor to the Raspberry Pi's GPIO. It could be any GPIO, so you could note that and mention it in your code accordingly. So to power up the module, we use the 3.3 volt pin on the Raspberry Pi connecting to the VCC or the plus pin of the module, and the ground pin connecting to the ground pin on the Raspberry Pi. As the Raspberry Pi is short of analog pins on itself, we would not be able to connect the A0 pin on the Raspberry Pi and get analog values accurately. So for making use of the A0 pin, you would need an external ADC for the Raspberry Pi GPIOs, and then you would be able to get the analog values much more accurately. So this was all about the hardware connections. To get the notifications onto your mobile, you would need to create an account on the Push Bullet service. So you can log in through your Gmail account or your Facebook account on the Push Bullet website, and after configuring, you create your own API token in there and use it in the code to communicate it with the mobile. So on the mobile, you would need to install the app. Let's go through the process of setting up the app and making it connect with the hardware and successfully implement a fire alert system. So this is the Push Bullet website here. I've logged in to the Push Bullet service through my Gmail account. So once you're logged in, you see the panel on the left side. Select settings from here and you would get this access tokens. We need to create an access token here. So click on the create access token. You would have an access token appearing in this section. Copy that and paste it in the part where the access token is required in the code. And with a few initializing commands, we would be able to put the hardware connected to our account now. So once this is done, you can install your Push Bullet app on your mobile and log in with the same account as you have done here. And then you would be able to receive notifications from the hardware onto your mobile itself. Now let's check out the app. So here we are at the mobile application version of the Push Bullet service. So you can go to the Play Store and download this Push Bullet app. So I've got it installed already. So I just tap open, and this is the screen which I get. So at first it may ask you to log in with the same account as you did in the website, and then it would ask for some permissions. So based on your willingness, you can permit it or deny it. There won't be any effects on the output in the app. So this is where we would receive the messages from the Raspberry Pi. All the text which you have given in the code to print would be coming up in the message. Along with that, you would be getting a pop-up on your notification panel. Now let's start testing the app and the hardware. Here we are with the hardware setup now. Connections made as per the connections shown in the FreeSync diagram. Let's have a closer look at the sensor connections and then move on to the implementation. Starting from the bottom, I have A0, D0, ground and VCC. So the A0 is for the analog output, D0 for the digital, ground, VCC. VCC we give it as 3.3 volts. So along with that, you can see the LEDs here, the power LED and the D0 LED. The power LED glows whenever the sensor is powered properly, and the D0 LED glows whenever there is flame detected from the sensor. So this potentiometer pot on the sensor is used for toggling the range up to which it can detect fire. So this was all about the sensor connection. So in here, as we do not have any analog pins on the Raspberry Pi, we would be using only the digital output. You could use an analog pin with the Raspberry Pi provided you have an external ADC which helps in collecting the analog values from the sensor. So on the Raspberry Pi, we have the red wire VCC connecting to plus 3 point, the brown wire connecting to the ground, and the green wire connecting to GPIO 4, that is the BCM mode of pin naming. Now let's move on to the implementation part. So the Raspberry Pi board has booted up. I'm able to access the SSH terminal, the Raspberry Pi. So once we have the terminal connection ready, we move into our directory where we have put the files and then install the pushbullet library from the internet. So you have Linux commands for that. You can do it with the pip tool. So pip install pushbullet.py would do here. So as I've already got the library installed, I would directly go on to run the program. This is the name which I have given for the file. Start running the program. Now let's switch to the app and the hardware to see the outputs. So we are ready with the hardware with the power LED glowing, and we have logged into our app as well, and also we have got the communication channel ready as well between the hardware and the app. So now let's start testing it. We bring in flame and we let the sensor detect it now. There you go. The alerts are being sent to the app. So you see they pop up on the screen on the notification panel as well and on the app. So you can set up these alerts to get us notified about the fire accident happening at a house and take the necessary actions accordingly. So now that the project is successfully implemented, let's move on to the code running behind the project and understand it thoroughly. So here we are with the main code file. Now let's start understanding it step by step. So to start with, we start importing the pushbullet module. So as we have installed it, module name would be pushbullet, and we would import a specific function and use it in our code. And next we import the rpi.gpio module as GPIO. This would let us set the modes for the pins in which they work and in declaring the type of pins as input or output. And then we have a time module to introduce delay in our program. We use the channel variable to store the pin number, and we use the mode as gpio.bcm. So BCM says that GPIO followed by the number. That would be the pin which you want to point to on your Raspberry Pi board. So the GPIO 4 would be connecting to the D0 pin of the fire sensor here, and then we set up the channel pin as input for the board. And now we start initializing the channel. Pushbullet function comes in here. Pushbullet, the argument would be your API key. So the API key which you copied from the website should be pasted here, and then if required we could print the devices which are making use of this API key. So making use of the devices, you can enter your device name in here inside the function. So if we have this function here for the push notification based on the channel readings, the function would be called and the notification would be sent onto your mobile. So to start with, in the function we start printing a small text on your terminal. So print sending alert, and then we have the function get device. So this would get us the device name which we would use for connecting to the Raspberry Pi board. So this would be your mobile's name, and then based on the data which we have collected for establishing the channel, we use the push note function and send the following text here. So alert fire at your place would be the text which you would be sending on your pushbullet app and making the same text pop up on the notification panel. So then print sent the terminal. So this was all about the function which we have created for sending the notification. And next we have two events in here. One is based on the behavior of the channel pin, we would be calling the function. So the detection event, would be carried out with this line of code, and the next line of code would be dealing with the calling of the function. So in the detect event, we observe the pin values on the channel pin, that is GPIO 4. So there are two types in here for the GPIO. It could be a rising edge or a falling edge. So previously I've used the GPIO.both, which would notify us whenever the signal goes high or low. So you could use either of them based on the behavior of your fire sensor. So in here I've tried out with the rising edge behavior. So preferably you could do that with the both behavior as well. So once the detection is done, we call back the function. So based on the channel pins, we call this function here. Then the notification is sent. So that completes the major activity of the code. So to let the loop run forever, we use an infinite loop here. So while true, time sleep of 60 seconds. So you can say every minute we would be detecting now, and based on the pin values, we would be sending alerts to your mobile. There ends the program. So in this video, you have learned how to interface a fire sensor with the Raspberry Pi board and send mobile notifications using a pushbullet service which deals with APIs and communicating to the mobile and the hardware and alerting the user accordingly. So to get the code for this project, please do check out the blog link given in the description below. Thank you.